Hello and welcome to an improvised episode of Haga Plays. This Friday, Nintendo are going to show off the Switch and finally unveil games and more solid details. So, a long while after basically everyone else, I'm going to list 5 things I'm hoping to see in the presentation. And in this list, I'm discarding things that have been confirmed in one way or another. So there will be no Zelda, no Mario Kart, and no Splatoon. Let's get going.
Number 5.
Retro Studios is one of the most admirable studios around. These guys started off at Iguana making the Turok games before starting their own studio. Since then, they've made great games like the Metroid Prime trilogy, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, plus that they're responsible for parts of Mario Kart 8. From what I've heard, they've grown and now consist of 2 teams, which supposedly are working on separate projects. With them not having released anything at all since the spring of 2013, I'd say they got at least one game that will be announced. So what do I hope that it is? I'd say it's more important than ever for second-party developers to create games Nintendo would make themselves, something mature and with fairly realistic art. My first request or prediction would be a spiritual successor to GoldenEye or Perfect Dark. These guys are FPS masters, so an FPS with open level design and stealth mechanics would be a dream come true. A modern interpretation of that playstyle featuring online play, better storytelling, and perhaps some RPG elements, and weapon customization. Another option could be that they develop an exclusive entry in the GTA franchise. This isn't as far-fetched as it seems, as Nintendo did the same thing with Ridge Racer 64 and Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. My guess is that it would take place in Vice City, as we haven't actually seen an HD reimagining of that location yet.
Number 4.
Whenever Nintendo bring back a dormant franchise, it's big news. Regardless if it's Punch-Out or Star Fox, a franchise that hasn't been used in many years has the potential to blow everyone away just by being so different from its predecessors because of the time passing. So what are my hopes? Well, with me being a big time N64 fan, I'm going to say that I want to see games that define that generation. Be it Wave Race, 1080, F-Zero, Excitebike, or Pilot Wings. I would love to see new entries in any of these franchises. Whichever one Nintendo have chosen to revive, they need to consider how to make it feel modern. What that means, among other things, is the inclusion of a true single-player campaign, as opposed to just having an arcade mode and calling it a day.
Number 3.
As a long-time car nut and racing fan, I'd say that this is extremely long overdue. Gran Turismo came out in 1998, and basically any company with a serious ambition to sell consoles has had an equivalent. The Dreamcast had Sega GT, the Xbox inherited that franchise before getting Forza, and Sony of course have Gran Turismo. These games are big deals. They always sell millions and millions of units, and beyond that, they're console sellers. Just like a very large crowd of people see it as a game breaker to not have FIFA, Madden, or NHL, other people really do like cars and subsequently want games where they have a selection of several hundred cars that can be upgraded and customized.
Number 2.
The Virtual Console is a popular service, however, it isn't without flaws, so I hope that Nintendo decide to improve upon it in a number of ways. The main improvement I'd like to see is of visual quality. In terms of NES games, the Wii U has blurrier graphics and less vibrant colors than the NES Mini. My hope is that the Switch will have the same bright, sharp graphics as Mini, and that, of course, all of that will translate to all of the other Virtual Console consoles. And of course, being a big fan of the Nintendo 64, I'd like to see them flat out increasing the resolution in 3D games. Just imagine playing Super Mario 64 in HD. Another thing I'd like to see is a significantly lower price point for Virtual Console games. I would gladly rebuy my N64 collection so that I can easily carry it over to my friend's place or play it on the train. Unfortunately, the price point is prohibitive. €15 for a 20-year-old game is far too steep. I could go on all day about small and big changes I want to see Nintendo make to the Virtual Console, but the bottom line is that I want Nintendo to introduce more modern consoles on the Virtual Console. Lots and lots of fans have been clamoring for GameCube games, but I'd also like to see the Sega Saturn and Dreamcast. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if people would be able to buy Burning Rangers at an affordable price? This is of course nothing but dreaming, but I would adore to see Sega and Nintendo team up and finally give an official release to Propeller Arena. For those of you who don't know, Propeller Arena is an online air combat game that was being developed by AM2 at the very end of the Dreamcast lifespan. It got cancelled, although ROMs of the game have leaked out online and show that it's basically complete. Having this game come out on Switch, complete with full online multiplayer functionality and voice chat, would be so cool.
Number 1.
The last point is very short, but obvious. Third-party support. If third-party developers don't support the Switch, it's going to fail. I mean, this is so obvious that I don't think I have to say any more about that. So, those were my top 5 predictions / wishes for the Nintendo Switch presentation. Do you agree with my choices? What are your choices? Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time.
Good station is conducting a test for the emergency